Hello passengers, welcome back to the Home Media Reviews, and today I'm gonna be taking a look at Make Someone Happy and Other Thomas Adventures. Yay, make someone happy. Let's not go to the main feature. Why is the play button like, that's the VHS cover, but we're not gonna go to the main feature. We're going to the songs, because I don't want to watch this. Which song? It's Great to Be an Engine, why not? Oh wait, hold on, this has the steam, this actually has the, like the bouncing steam cloud. When it's on, sing-along and stories, it doesn't have the bouncing steam cloud. Look how much they have to up the saturation for this. Wait, this is the Railway Series map. Also, why is Peter Sam at the docks? Great song, by the way. I mean, the song miles better than the DVD of the same name, which doesn't include this song, by the way. Slow down footage. Also love how this song is centered around Bill and Ben, and is based on their theme. It's just so great. Honestly, two of Thomas's best songs are on this DVD, which I'm just realizing. Also, if you notice, they use like freeze frames for those shots. Could we have a fan story centered around Bill and Ben and like this theme? Like the theme of Every Cloud is Silver Lined? Like something relating to the song? Hopefully that makes sense, I don't know. Maybe I'll do that one day, I don't know. Look how much better quality this footage is compared to when we watched it on Thomas Gets Bumped. It looks so much better and less yellowy. Wonderful song, by the way. Honestly, I don't even know which is better. It's Great to Be an Engine is catchy, and like both songs are great. I don't know which one is better. Because I think both are great. I don't know. But, you know, we can only waste time for so long. So let's actually get into the main feature, right? Look, like, the footage looks so... What is this filter? Like, ugh, this looks so weird. Why do the reds look pink? Also, boo! Alec Baldwin! But David Mitten, you get a round of applause.
It was holiday time.
Why are there
on the
two
island of
title
Sodor.
cards? Oh my god.
All the engines were working
Footage
happily.
looks so weird.
Why should a splendid
Nope,
engine
notice
like
that
me
lip
take
smack.
messy? Percy or
Look,
Oliver
James
should
looks
do it.
pink
I'm too
rather than
important.
red.
Why don't
Although
you
I
think
guess
about
it's
something
because
or someone else
this,
for a change?
like,
You'll be surprised at how
I guess
much better
because
you'll feel if you
they
do.
did the NTSC
Oh,
conversions
please.
and put it on a
Being important
VHS
is the only
first,
thing
and
for me to
since
think
they
about.
took the VHS masters and I guess somehow upscaled it for the DVD, yeah, I mean, it just looks so... It just looks
That plane's
off.
making a great...
Isn't this kind of
So
like the
Topham Hatt
last
wants us to
season
pick
where
up a very
Oliver
special
got
load
any
from the
sort of
harbor.
major focus?
way.
I mean it like him having a spotlight on him in multiple
Meanwhile,
episodes.
James was... My sister has run
Why
to
does
tell me
Mrs.
she
Kindly
can't come
look
to stay
different?
to
Like
her
she looks
visit.
different to how she looked in
Sir
series
Topham
1.
Hatt. Harold's made my paint dustier than ever, muttered James. But he was happy for Mrs. Kindly. She was soon flying high with Harold.
I don't believe
I've never
that.
seen the island
Oh
like
wait,
this
let's remember
before.
this. Harold
It's
only has
wonderful.
one pilot. Good morning! Called Harold.
I'm playing Lucky Dip in the Tramper's Hold, and all these are for you.
What does that mean? Please explain, Cranky.
What? Percy exclaimed.
That
For the
color scheme
carousel
reminds me of the
ride,
Chinese
it's going to
dragon.
be a... Now this is your very special treat. James will take you on a mystery ride, and I shall meet you at your destination.
Just like a scavenger hunt. Did you just hear a kid screaming? Did you hear that? And then for the name boards, why does the saturation look, like, why does it look like they upped the saturation for this?
Only the
What's
silly
with the
freight
delay in the
cars for
title
company.
card?
What's the matter, Percy? Asked Bertie. Nothing exciting ever happens. That's the matter, sighed Percy.
I can relate to that.
I'm bored. You're much too small to pull all of us. We want another engine or we'll be struggling up the hill all night. All night. All right. You can puff and blow, but on that hill you're still too slow. Slow yourself, stuttered Percy.
Look who's talking. You can't even move without someone pulling or pushing you. Yeah, what's with Percy's stripe there?
Freight cars
like
were
it's
still
peeling
joking.
off. Also, you can see the end of the set there. Look at that.
Surprise,
Wait, was that the edge of the sky
Catch us if you
backdrop? Or
can.
what was that?
Oh no!
Oh no, those were just
cried Percy.
rocks or mountains. Never mind. What about the conductor? Can't he just apply the brakes in the brake van? What's the point of including a brake van if there's no one there to just apply the
Percy's
brakes?
driver and the yard foreman told Sir Topham Hatt what was happening.
Why?
They're heading for the...
Why is Sir Topham Hatt going? Like, his office is all the way at Nafford, and if this is on Thomas's branch line, wouldn't that take a while for him to get there? Flip footage, you could see the brake van.
As they approached the hill, they overtook
Excuse
the freight
me,
cars.
is there no conductor in
Sir
that brake
Topham Hatt and
van?
Bertie.
What's the point of including a brake van as a part of this consist if it's not going to be used? Like, this is just one part of the episode that I don't really understand, and honestly I find confusing. Why did Bertie even join the chase? Did he bring the workmen? As much as I find that a relatable episode, I can't help but question some of what actually happens, like when the freight cars run away from Percy, they show a brake van at the end of the train. So, was there just no conductor inside? Was he knocked off the footplate? Like, what happened? Like, the brake van's never even acknowledged, so like, what's the point of including it? Like, a simple fix would just be not including a brake van.
Hello, Percy. Nice day for it, isn't it? Percy was confused. Nice day for what? For it, isn't it? Percy was confused. Oh, yes, of course.
Wait, how do you know about that, Terrence? Also, look, why did they use the Bulgy's, what part of the Bulgy's bridge prop for that tunnel?
Mrs. Contained something old, something new.
Wait,
something
Mrs.
borrowed,
Kindly's
something
mole,
blue.
it's gone.
Can you help, please?
Not only did she look different in that earlier episode, but now she looks different again. And why are you asking a train to look for a good luck package for your daughter?
Oh, yes, indeed. Something old, something new. They're probably staring you in your smoke box. Now, I have to fetch my special train. I'm taking guests to the wedding.
I like that Edward voice, but also, couldn't he just be the something old and something blue that's two things down?
Suddenly, he saw a freight car. It was loaded with
the
a new
magic
set of
buffers.
shiny buff.
Okay, well, if Edward was going to the wedding, he could be the something blue and something old. But then what about Percy's crew? Like, they're both wearing blue uniforms, blue outfits. Why is old Slow Coach there? But why is she there?
Percy, said the
I mean,
coach.
sure is lucky that she's just on the tracks.
Well, bust my boiler, Thomas. What are you doing here?
Well, I need my mandatory appearance, Percy. Wait, those three guys are all wearing the same suit and hat. And then there's Mrs. Kindly and the storyteller in the back. Okay, you know what, just regardless of what actually happened, I guess that I have to admit, that was sweet. It was a sweet episode, but, you know, why are you asking a train to get a good luck package for your daughter? Just too lazy to get it yourself? By the way, did Mrs. Kindly even thank Percy for all of his work? Also, the first time I watched the DVD, I noticed that for some reason the title card was the British spelling, even though on the back of the DVD that's not how it's listed. Also, how many times have they used that shot in episodes?
One day,
way too
when
many, that's for sure.
Teacher says the sand is soiled.
Yay, I'm
Please
happy
help us,
about our
Thomas.
playground being closed. That
See what I
one
can
kid
do,
smiling
replied
while
Thomas
everyone's
kindly.
sad. Thomas's theme here is
Thomas
so
hoped things
good,
weren't quite as
but his Series 7 theme is miles better.
just about to tell the
Oh
other
my god,
engines
look at
about
the tanker.
playground.
But also, I'm sure they filmed
"You
this at the
look
same
glum,
time as
little
Horrid
Percy,"
Lori.
said Gordon.
Because,
Sir
like,
Topham
Percy
Hatt told
coming into
Driver
the
that he's
yard.
using... Disgusting, snorted Henry. Sir Topham Hatt has chosen Harold because he thinks he's more important than me. Well, he's not. Harold can't fly through tunnels.
Yeah, that voice is not really good. Yeah.
Percy stopped by a signal on his branch line.
Percy
near
has a branch
field
line?
where Gordon was traveling to collect his train.
Yep, all the way at Kirk Ronan because Netford doesn't exist in this season, which is such a
We'll
bizarre
show that
piece of
whirly bird
trivia.
just how
It's
said
kind of
his
weird to
driver.
think that this is the only season of the entire show
Because
where
they were
Netford
watching
doesn't
Harold,
appear.
ahead was a tunnel under repair.
That we never ever see again after this.
Later, Thomas pulled Gordon clear with the breakdown train.
Gee, sure
Sir
is
Topham
lucky
Hatt
that it was
spoke
Thomas
severely
that
to
got
Gordon's
Gordon
driver.
out instead of
Will
someone
Gordon be
else.
scrapped? Because the engines think the visitor is here to see if we can be replaced by Harold.
Yeah,
Sir Topham
that's so
Hatt
stupid.
laughed. He is just being very useful.
Using stock footage from the previous season.
Next
Wait, why
morning,
is
as
James being
was
painted at the
repainted,
sheds?
Henry had an accident.
How did this happen exactly? Why are Thomas,
You should be
Percy, and
careful,
Terrence
James.
not working
Trees
on
can be just
Thomas's
as
branch
powerful as
line?
engines, advised
Terrence, why aren't you
Oh,
working at your
please.
field? Wait, what's that? Wait, what's that at the
But
like the
James
by Thomas
was
thing?
wrong.
And that's not
You
the
must go to the yards
Express.
and you must go to the yards and collect an important goods train, James. It's heavy, so be careful," said Sir Topham Hatt.
Why
"But,
wouldn't
sir,
you have told him
I've just
about
been
this
repainted.
earlier?
Can't... Then he heard a whistle.
Wow,
It's
how
Thomas,
lucky.
called his
Thomas
driver.
just happens to show up at the right time.
James felt embarrassed and
Wow.
worried that Thomas would laugh
Why
at him,
is he
but
here?
Thomas didn't.
Why is Thomas here? Okay, they actually remembered to
This
add
sign
Duck's
saying
face in
Best
these
Dressed Station will be
close-ups.
awarded to the
Like
winner.
special letter where he doesn't have a
Please
face
help
for
with
some
the
reason.
arrangements. All right, then, Arsdale End. That's my home, replied Toby. That's why I like it, especially when you're there and not here saying I'm silly. Good night.
I love that.
Next morning,
Also,
Percy
I love
was
the
proud to
arrangement
be
of
sparkling
Percy's theme
again.
in this
His
episode.
train of... Why not? Asked the station master.
Why
"The
aren't you
ram won't let us."
inside?
That,
Remember
said
when
the station
humans had a
master.
major
The
part in
boys are the
stories?
culprits, not the ram.
I sure do.
We'll put everything back.
I wonder how long that took. Yay! Finally, I did it. I suffered through Alec Baldwin's actually okay narration. You know what? He actually wasn't that bad here. Alright, I might as well talk about Baldwin's narration for a second. It wasn't bad. Some of his choices for character voices were questionable, to say the least. I used to love Alec Baldwin, but I think I've honestly gravitated more towards the other narrators over Baldwin, to the point that I feel like he's just my least favorite narrator. Yeah, I find Ringo Starr better than him.
Suddenly, it was the conductor's warning whistle. Hurrah, 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 laughed the cars. We've broken away, we've broken away. Chase him, bump him, throw him off the rails, they yelled. Hurry, Duck, hurry, said the driver. They raced through Edward Station, but the cars were catching up. As fast as we can, then they'll catch us gradually. The driver was gaining control. Another clear mile and we'll do it. Oh, glory, look at that!
And Michael Brandon. So make someone happy. It's fine. I don't really have much to say. It's nice that Mrs. Kindly got some focus again, after, well, I think the last time she got a speaking role in the series was Thomas's Christmas party all the way back in Series 1. I don't know why she looks different. Like, here, her face looks entirely different. Like, I think even her hair looks different too, which is, like, why'd they change it? And then, literally, like, 2 episodes later in the DVD, Like, she had a mole and Make Someone Happy, but then in Happy Ever After, it's gone. I don't know what happened there. Like, you can't even stay consistent with Mrs. Kindly's appearance, even in this season. A big surprise for Percy. It is an episode I can relate to. Like, it's why Percy, like, this episode is a reason why I love Percy so much. Because I just find him a relatable character. Like, he's bored with life and wants some excitement. Yeah, I definitely relate to that. And yeah, Percy getting that excitement that he needed, even if how it happened is questionable. Look, the coupling breaking is not the unbelievable part. The unbelievable part for me is that, like, they had a brake van a part of the consist, so why couldn't the conductor inside the brake van just apply the brakes and stop the train? Like, if a conductor was in the brake van at the time and applied the brakes, the runaway would stop right then and there. Or, here's something that you can do. Like, that can fix the episode nearly entirely. Just don't add a brake van to the consist. Like, boom, problem solved. And Sir Topham Hatt getting involved in this? Why are you telling him? His office is at Knapford, and if this is on Thomas's line, as I said before, like, you don't have time to tell him. Tell him after the problem is resolved. Because, like, how far away is that hill from that station? And if it's really far away, then the freight cars could have just, like, probably stopped somewhere along the way. Or, if the conductor was in the brake van, just stop the train. And then Bertie along for the chase as well. Why is he there? Did he bring the workmen? Where did the workmen come from? Other than the brake van complaint, I realized what I am talking about, like with Sir Topham Hatt and Bertie within the chase. That's nitpicky, and yeah, it is. Wait, didn't they do this episode already? Happy Ever After. Why is Percy the one getting the stuff for Mrs. Kindly's daughter? That doesn't really make a lot of sense. And then Edward's voice, the voice that Baldwin provided to Edward. Honestly, I never really paid much attention to it before, but now that I was actually listening, I think it's good. Better than some of the other voices he gave to other characters, but that's just my opinion. I don't really have much else to say. Thomas and the Rumors. I do find it kind of dumb with how the events play out. Like, really, do the engines seriously think that Harold would, like, why would the engines think that Harold could somehow replace them? I mean, although I do like the message about not listening to rumors, and also the episode kind of just showing Thomas's maturity this season, because he's the only one to not give in to the rumors. Like, and, oh, actually, you know what? Something I would like to bring up was, like, in the Thomas Gets Bumped video, I explained how the Series 3 original stories felt like that there were two completely unrelated stories just meshed into one episode. Why have two stories into one? It's just confusing. However, I think that's where Series 5 improved. Since it's all original stories, I think that they handled it pretty well. Or at least when they combine two plots into one episode, I think it works out pretty well. Because, yeah, with Thomas and the Rumors, since, you know, that's what I was talking about, yeah, they set up the children and the playground being closed, and Thomas wanting to help them. And that's a plotline kind of just forgotten about because of the rumor with, the rumors with Harold, and, like, you don't think these two plots really relate, but then near the end of the episode, like, they tell you that the visitor was riding in Harold to spot sand from the air to help the children reopen their playground. I mean, I guess thinking about it, yeah, the plotline with the children, like, yeah, that's kind of forgotten about, like, halfway through the episode. At least they're plots that relate to each other. Like, first time watching, you don't think they're gonna relate, but then by the end, they do. And it all makes sense when you actually think about it. And that's something that I think Series 5 did really, really well. James and the Trouble with Trees don't really have much to say. Also, the contrivances in this episode is just, like, Thomas just showing up out of nowhere and just, so, like, James can't back up. And then Thomas just comes in out of nowhere and helps James. Like, why did Thomas show up? Why was he there? They don't even explain why he showed up. He's just there now. Although it's another instance of Thomas's maturity this season. Bah. don't really have much to say about it. Like, this DVD, it's not bad. In fact, I feel like maybe I'll give this like maybe a 6 out of 10. I guess this DVD is responsible for having episodes that just kind of exist. I can kind of see why people would just write this off as maybe being the weakest Series 5 release, but honestly, it might be my favorite one. I think the reason why people just write this off as being a weak release compared to the other Series 5 tapes is because that the exciting, adventurous episodes that Series 5 is known for is on the other 3 releases, and then they just kind of put the remainders on this one. Personally, that's why I like it. That's why I like this release, because it's relaxing, it's calming, and well, it's enjoyable. It's just a good time, and I think that's what a Thomas release should be. Like, honestly, my favorite seasons of the show are relaxing and have some of the best visuals for me in the entire show. I feel like maybe for best visuals, like the season I choose is season 4. I guess maybe for like relaxing stories or having just great music, well, seasons 4 and 7 are ones that I personally really love. Season 4 might be my favorite Thomas season of all time, with Series 7 being a close second. Honestly, I know people are probably going to get really mad at me if I say this, but Series 5 is kind of mediocre and it's overrated. Okay, look, just listen to me on this, okay? Please listen. Honestly, yeah, I feel like Series 5 people just give way too much credit. And honestly, there's a lot of stories where, like, it's clear that certain things have to happen the way they do for the plot to happen. And I'll give you a few examples, starting now. Oliver's find. Oliver stops at a red signal. He and his crew thinks it's broken, so Oliver's crew thinks it's best to break the rules by going past a red signal, and then they just conveniently get switched onto the wrong track. Okay, I have several questions. Why doesn't Oliver's driver just, like, walk out of Oliver's cab and walk down to the signal box? I mean, wouldn't that make a little bit more sense? Oh wait, because if they did that, then Oliver couldn't be switched onto the wrong track and the plot couldn't continue. Oh right. Why are the switches set to the wrong track at all? Like, what's the point? And what if the switches weren't set for the wrong track? What if they were set to the right track? What if there was danger ahead and Oliver, like, came off the tracks or something? You wouldn't run any more signals after that, would you? I know it seems like that I'm nitpicking, but, you know, I can't help but think about that.
Fog floated everywhere. "I can't see," cried Henry, nor could his driver.
Another thing too is that characters just standing there, like they're about to be put in grave danger, and they're just standing there, like, I guess staring off into space or something, or just going as slow as possible. And then when they're put in danger, it's like, gee, wonder how that happened. Maybe if you had gone a little bit faster, maybe if you just didn't waste time, you wouldn't be in this predicament right now.
Wait, hold on, why are you doing this? If you don't want to be buried under snow, then why are you... Why?
"Avalanche!" they cried.
Yeah, why are you just standing there? Like, you could have easily gotten through. And, wow, how convenient. The avalanche just so happens to bury them, and not in front or behind them. I don't know.
Look, the point I'm trying to make is that I feel like there are a lot of flaws with Series 5, and I think those flaws have to come with that the stories aren't based on Railway Series stories anymore. They're just all original stories, with Britt and David being the creative voices behind everything. And I think that was kind of a bad choice. Like, the reason why, Britt thought that having a fifth season be made was a great opportunity for David Mitten to show off his model making skills, like with practical effects and everything, with floods and supernatural events, boulders, and it just feels like all of that work went to waste because of what we eventually got. And also, I think Series 5 was the start of a trend where characters just make rash decisions for the plot to happen. And I feel like people thought that this started in Series 8 or Magic Railroad, where characters just act like idiots for the plot to advance. But I strongly disagree. Series 5 was the start of that. You know what? Let me actually say some positive things about it that I feel like will make people less angry at me. Like, there are several musical moments throughout this DVD and just Series 5 as a whole where it is great, and with a model making perspective, like with practical effects like fog machines or just the engine's paint or different kinds of weather and the lighting. Yeah, Series 5 visually is amazing. I'm honestly really looking forward to the next two releases I'm going to look at, and if you looked at my community tab, you'll know exactly what those two releases I'm going to look at next are. And if you don't know, well then, I guess if you don't want to be spoiled, just wait. See you in the next episode.